Alright, today, this is mostly for my build, but this will work for any grace that you're trying to hunt for. Someone on Reddit actually found out that the graces are divided into different pools depending on which floor of the underworld you're on. So I will link to that in the description. It's a lot of mumbo-jumbo math, but if you look at some of the comments, you should be able to easily dictate where you need to go. Basically, there are 3 groups, and each group has 6 graces, so that includes the graces from the last difficulty, Dream of the Wise, and then this one, Dream of the Nioh. So what you want to do is, if you're looking for a grace, like, let me give a good example here. Um, I'm trying to get key damage on both of these pieces with Ninigi's grace. Now, I have this one already with active key damage, but I need it on these 2 pieces. So what I'm doing is I'm playing one of the not underground, but underworld levels that drops the pool that has the Nigi's Grace in it. So there's a number of ways you can do this, depending on how far you are. You can definitely get more currency from doing this. One thing that's nice about this mode is that it kind of has a roguelite type progression going with it. So it means that even if you get crap drops, if you've been watching my streams the past 3 days, you know how horrible my luck has been. I haven't been able to upgrade those pieces at all, other than just upgrading their stats. But I haven't found straight replacements yet. You will still be getting the underground lapis lazuli, which will allow you to get persistent upgrades. So let's go ahead and go to floor 11. I'm going to explain this and then I'm going to cut out because there's a number of random factors and I want to make sure that I get a clean run. So this one here at the top is probably the most important one to upgrade because this increases the upper limit for the rank of gear that can drop. This means that you can get, I think at this rate I'm getting like 51s or 52s. So the farther you go with this, the higher your rate will be. If you're soloing, these might be worth it too, but it doesn't tell you exactly what the percentage increase is. I'm sure when the game comes out on PC, we'll probably have more information about that, but as it stands right now, pretty much the top and the bottom you want to mess with, and then maybe work on the others when you get to a decent rate, because you want to make sure that you're leveling your gear with the enemies. They do scale as well, obviously, so this is what I initially did was I upgraded this, and I found out that was kind of a mistake. It takes a lot less Gems of the Departed to upgrade this, so I would recommend putting a couple points in this. That way, even if you're getting a bunch of crap drops, you're still you'll be able to soul match those into the pieces you're currently using, and at least you'll have some more stats and things like that. At this point, I'm a light armor user. I'm a martial artist light armor user, so I'm going to get 2-shot regardless, but if you're using medium or heavy armor, you may see more of a noticeable difference from this, but overall, you're going to want this anyway. The bonuses you get from upgrading your gear from like plus 40 to 50 is actually quite large from what I've seen, so it's worth it. Anyway, there's another couple things I should explain too. If you're having trouble with a specific boss and you don't want to hop in the Discord and beg someone to help you, people are very helpful in that Discord, but they aren't always available and things like that. So what you can do is you can stockpile the kitties. What the kitties do is they give you meter gain and they also attack. So I think if you put out 3 of them, most humanoid bosses will not even get a chance to attack. Obviously, humanoid bosses in this game are pretty touchy subject. There are definitely some ones that are just blatantly unfair. They'll just pop hyper armor at random and stuff, and at this point in the game, you're going to get 1 or 2 shots. So a lot of times I could just kill a run. So if you're having trouble with particularly human bosses, yokai bosses in general are a lot easier to manage because you know, their mechanics are more fair and consistent. Then definitely use these. This will allow you to pretty much solo some of the more difficult bosses like Saito and stuff. So with that said, I'm going to cut out, and I will mute the mic, and I'll show a clean run. One thing I should say is that if you're using my routes, you will not have the same buffs every time. What happens is the Kodama are in the same place every time, but their buffs are randomized. As you see here, there's uncommon strength, uncommon defense, mercy, and aid. Those will be in different spots every time. Now, the buffs you won't really need on this specific floor because the boss is Ryomen Sukuna. He's pretty easy to just completely body. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to fight all the stronger enemies and ideally find at least one purple enemy because purple enemies do have a higher drop chance. I guess they have a better drop pool or something. At the very least, you will end up with some lapis lazuli for doing this, which means that you'll be able to talk to this guy
Second.
and get persistent bonuses. You kind of have to treat this like it's a roguelite mode. You start out with basically nothing. Going to the underworld is not going to be that fruitful at the beginning. However, once you start upgrading these, even if you're farming like I am, and today I did like 3 hours of streaming and got basically nothing, then you'll at least be able to funnel all your failures into this, and you'll be able to get stronger that way. So I'm going to cut out, and then I'll show a clean run. This is the route that I'll be using on this specific floor. There's one Kodama I never bother with because it's a purple aura, the giant Tengu Itsumade. He's really difficult to fight. He has massive hitbox attacks, and he's in a very small area. Uh, my success rate for beating him without dying multiple times is very low, at least at my skill level and with the current build I'm using, so I generally skip that one. You can do anywhere from 2 to 3. I would recommend doing at least 2 Kodama fights, because that way you'll at least get some currency for this. That way you won't come up empty-handed. Anyway, let me cut out, and I'll show a clean run with the mic muted. Alright, sorry for the cuts, but if you're looking for this specific grace, floor 11 seems like it's the best. My capture card is giving out. I have a new one ordered, but it's gonna be until, not gonna be here until the first of the month, the first week of next month, so. I'm sorry for the cuts, that actually was done in one take. However, my capture card started crapping out towards the end, and I had to re-plug it in. The cable's all messed up. But anyway, enough about that. When you're at the end here, you definitely want to check and see what you got. Like, this one's decent, but not great. Got a couple ethereals this time. Generally nothing too interesting. Well, there were a couple in here that are here from other takes. You can see here, since I have Lucky Drop on, I did get this. But this one has no key damage, so it's not really something that I would replace. You'll see that it's actually working. I've got two of them here, but this one is the Lucky Drop one. So no upgrades here. Some decent stuff overall. Definitely don't trash all your divine gear, because you can still use those to power up what you're actually using. Since you're going to be increasing the upper limit for the drops in general, you definitely don't want to disassemble all your divines right away. Check and see if there's any good ones in here. Like, there's a couple plus 48s and stuff, and then in armor I even have a plus 51, which seems to be my current limit at the current persistent element buff level I'm at. So definitely don't get rid of them right away. Just go into new items and see if you got anything, and make sure you lock it. Also, for accessories, make sure you look for anything with melee damage versus 0 key, and then there's also a new star affix that can roll that gives you sloth when you use Nioh or ninjutsu, respectively. If you can get one of those and it's divine, I would definitely recommend putting it into the Stone of Penance, and maybe you'll get the right grace. Unfortunately, it's all RNG. This game is infinite RNG works right now, but at least this way you can mitigate it. Once again, check the link in the description. I'm going to post the guy who actually came up with this information in the first place. You should be able to do the math and look at the comments. You could even find one in there from me. It's a lot of mental gymnastics to do it yourself, but there's been a number that have already been detected, mentioned in the comments. So make sure you look at the comments, and yeah, that's your guide. Oh, also, one more thing. If you keep farming a specific level like this for the grace that you're looking for, make sure that you do not go back to the town. Make sure you don't go back to the main menu, because if you do that, you miss a chance of a treasure room. Treasure rooms are going to get nerfed in today's patch, apparently, because they don't like fun. But anyway, make sure you don't go back right away, because there's always a chance that you will get one. So always talk to the Kodama that says proceed to the next level, because there's always a chance that you get a treasure room. I did not know that until like an hour ago. So even if you're not going to do this level, like this level is outside of the pool that I want, you definitely sit through the load screens and go back with a branch fragment or something, because otherwise you're going to be missing out on a treasure room. I don't know what drop pool the treasure rooms have. They may apply to all of them, or the one you were just doing. I guess people will have to do more research on that, but either way, you'll probably find some good stuff in there. You may find some good inheritables or anything. So, like I said, I am farming mission 11 or floor 11, because it has the right drop pool for what I'm looking for, which is Ninigi Grace upgrades. Just make sure you go to the next level, and then just rage quit out. Also, there's a lot of these extra shards that they're giving out that give like 500 million Amrita and stuff. You can use those to basically force the Yokai Shift bar to be full. Definitely hold on to these. Once you get to around level 500, one of these won't level you up anymore. It will take like over 1 billion Amrita. So the only real purpose for these, unless you have a lot of them stacked, and I mean tons of them, is to basically force the Amrita gauge to fill. You can definitely use that for some difficult areas. You may notice I popped Yokai Ships against those Gakis, and that seems kind of wasteful, but those Gakis put out the paralysis poop on the ground, so that can completely destroy that area, because the the boomer yokai, the politician yokai, whatever you want to call him. He has a lot of grabs and really fast attacks, so if you get paralyzed by the Gakis, then that run is essentially over. So you definitely want to make sure that you can force yokai shift in that situation. So like I said, check your Amrita. If you don't have any Amrita, like right now, 882 million is essentially nothing. That's not even enough for one level. Then don't waste your Divine Branch fragments or the other fragments, the Sacred Branch, whatever they're called, and just back out. And then at this point, you will just want to check your gear once more and see if you've got any incremental upgrades, like something that's a higher level or it has an inheritable or something. Uh, you definitely want to look at your divine stuff too. Sometimes those can have good inheritables as well. Obviously, orange inheritables are like some of the rarest things in the game, but you're going to be playing this like a loot pinata. You're going to be going through so much crap that you want to make sure that you check everything. One thing that's nice, if you go to the blacksmith, I don't think this was mentioned in the patch notes, but you go to Forge and then Tools, you go to Smithing Materials, you can actually craft Divine Umbracite with 99 Divine Fragments, so you're predominantly still going to be getting a lot of Divine crap, so what you want to do is funnel those into Divine Umbracite. That way you can make it a little easier a lot easier actually, to temper things the way you want. Twilight missions don't seem like they're worth doing right now because the DLC 3 levels got added to them, and those are like ridiculously long. You don't really need to do them anymore. If you're doing pretty effective grinding like this, then you'll have enough Divine Umbracite to pretty much upgrade or temper any gear that you're looking for. Anyway, that's it. I hope that helps. I'm sorry for all the cuts. There were a couple deaths, and then I had that clean run where I didn't die, and the capture card crapped out. I'm going to be dealing with this for a while because I already paid for my new capture card and everything, but it's not going to be here because of the pandemic. All the shipments are being delayed and stuff, so please bear with me if I have to cut out, even if it is a legit one take. I probably won't be doing any try-hard stuff in this game until I get my new capture card. But yeah, I hope that helps. Make sure you refer to the Reddit thread. That has all the information you'll need. And then just find a boss that you're comfortable with and a level that you're comfortable with. Like that one, all the Kodama are relatively close to each other, so you can pretty much just do one lap and get 3 of them. Skip the one with the big Tengu because the success rate is very low of beating it, at least to my current skill level, and then you can maximize how many purple enemies you get, how many Lapis Lazuli you get, and then hopefully get some ethereals as well. One thing I should also mention, if you fight any boss that has their own set, like if you fight Toshie, he actually has his own set, I would recommend not fighting them because their armor generally comes with its own set bonus, which means that it's just going to dilute the drop pool and make it harder for you to get a grace. You would have to get a generic piece because that's how graces work. So even if a humanoid boss is easier to reach and beat with your specific build, you may want to check exactly what they drop, because otherwise you're just going to be getting a lot of set pieces, and that's not really going to be much of an incremental upgrade in most cases. Thanks for watching.